How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another XRP update. And if you've been following the channel over the past week, I was suggesting that this had to be where the market bounced. And my personal viewpoint is that it would fail in this region. The reason why we saw the pump through this key level was due to external factors, as there was a fundamental event. Now, all you can see in this image is BTC and ETH, but in the retweet down over here, in the original tweet, he mentioned XRP, and now that allowed it to reclaim this very key level. Super important to do so, as we just seen a bearish cross forming in this area. So the only way this bearish signal is invalidated is by reclaiming the head and shoulders neckline first, but in that same area we found the bearish cross. So this is a great signal, and it's a fundamental change. The technicals are now saying and suggesting for this external factor that's come into play, for it to continue, for it to sustain this head and shoulders neckline and the moving averages, must hold as support for today's daily candle close in 7 hours time. So price must close above $2.52. Right now it's at $2.60. So it looks like if it stays around this area for the next 6 to 7 hours, it will have reclaimed the bearish patterns neckline. So on the breakdown, what we're looking for is a bounce from this area to retest it as resistance for continuation lower into the 200 EMA. At this point, the time that it takes to come down, it'd probably be at like 190. Now, these are things that I've mentioned in the past week, but we've had a structure change, a characteristic change, a must needed one to invalidate the bearish scenario. But what I must say is, even though step by step we're seeing positive things, the bearish scenario is not yet fully invalidated, meaning if XRP starts losing this as support once again and confirming its resistance, we will go back on that bearish path. So it's vital right now to see 252 hold and then a break of the 886 fib. Can you see how XRP reclaimed these key levels, but there was still other in the way? We can see this area between 296 and 315. As soon as we tapped into the next level of resistance, a new local higher high, we can see that it rejected immediately. So its ultimate goal now is to maintain the low we just bounced from, which is sub $2, 195, and of course 252. 252 must hold for the move up into 315. But I must make you all aware, it can still end up doing this from 315. If you don't believe me, we will look at Bitcoin as an example. I've shared it in my Bitcoin and Ethereum updates already. But first of all, I must say, although I'm now looking at consolidation period, I'm not suggesting XRP is going to go through an 8-month correction. All I want to show is that there was a move down that bottomed out locally. In the end, we went lower. But in the meantime, there was this very strong bounce, super close to a new all-time high. If we take it back to back then, you can see that, look at this, recovered the moving averages after losing them, confirming them as support, break that final resistance, and it's out of here. If we place our fibs, we can see that it bottomed out at 60,000 and pumped all the way to the 886, an $11,000 move into 72K. But in the end, what was the result? We saw it develop into a new lower low in the end. And so with that new local lower low, we can adjust the fib to that. And we see once again it rejecting the 886 area. So even when we bottom, if it's not breaking out through the 886, a new lower low forms. And so let's now check on that new move down, the new lower low. Let's measure that move. And once again, at the 886. So price has to break through that final level. So this is exactly the same as XRP. If XRP pumps into the 886, it must break it in order to see these higher price targets. And if it fails to break out of resistance, let's go ahead and see what can happen. A new lower low form, guys. So all I'm trying to do is make you aware. I'm not saying we're going to go through a consolidation like this. I'm just trying to show you where it's rejecting. And so on the current XRP chart, that same level is the 886, $3.15. I've shown you 3 examples at least now where it pumped all the way from the bottom into the 886 and still went to new lows once again, completed the move down, pumped into the new 886 and a new low once. Again, I'm not calling for an 8-month long correction sideways period. I'm just stating we could see new lower lows if this is not broken and reclaimed. What do I want? I want that, of course, reclaimed. I want everyone to make money again. I want the market to be safe and all the bearish scenarios invalidated. But ultimately, it is on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has that 886 up at 105k. So you can see it's pumping into resistance right now. A break of this level, 96.7, will send us into there, but can still head to new lows. Not saying that is going to happen. Just keep it in the back of your mind. It's a possibility, right? And here it's all about probabilities. Nothing is guaranteed 100%. Because if we look at this, then we had lower lows, but then we had higher highs. So, very choppy market at the moment. In a situation like this, we have to understand we're not fully in the clear until 315 is broken. In the immediate moves, short term, mid-term, if we start losing all of this support, then we're going to multi-month correction, further correction, multi-month dip. If we're breaking out to the upside, reclaiming this level, then we're potentially going up for multi-months. So extreme consequences on the decision here. But ultimately, $2.52, needs to hold. That's the neckline. That's the newly recovered bearish cross, trying to form a bullish cross. By maintaining $2.52, it will move up into 315. It will. And then the real test will be there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep that in the back of your mind, as well as focusing on that Bitcoin chart as well. That needs to break 105. So there's a few resistances left on not just XRP, but on the rest of alts as well. Cheers, everyone. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you want to jump into the community, use the links down below.